Welcome to Second to None Media. You're watching continuing coverage of the state of Texas case related to the passing of Dallas rapper MO3. In this video, we continue the prosecution's evidentiary hearing against the defendant Conway, aka Yella Beezy, where state's attorneys and the court address evidence and legal arguments that could shape the trial ahead. This footage is presented for news reporting and public information. As always, every defendant is presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. Let's go inside the courtroom.
Mr. Nielsen conceded that sometimes events in lyrics can be true. Last week we heard about rap music concerning how it depicts and glorifies criminal activity and violence. And it speaks to and depicts guns, drug trafficking, the gang lifestyle, degradation of women, foul and overly aggressive and sexually explicit language. But the songs that the state has selected do not contain all that. In fact, they are braggadocious about criminal activity, but the criminal activity mentioned is directly on point to the charged offense. They talk directly about placing bounties for reprisal, they talk about the murder, and they talk about the feud. In fact, all but one of the cases, Your Honor, reference directly to the decedent. Hit Us, the first case, the first song, this is the one that does not reference the decedent, but the court heard from Detective Barnes why it's important. During this feud was the first time the defendant ever talked about placing a bounty on someone. Then we have Keeping in the Streets. Grand jury testimony shows that this song is a direct response to the civil suit. The timing of that song, the context of the song is probative. It goes to the ongoing feud, it goes to motive, and it shows the escalating violence between the parties. On Your Head. This song is directly on point to the charged offense. Both Moore and the defendant talk about placing bounties for reprisal, and Moore takes it one step further. He says he's put 50 bags on the decedent. Grand jury testimony will show you that this song is eerily on point to the charged offense. Now, defense is going to argue that Moore's lyrics in that song shouldn't come in because he's not a co-conspirator. Well, Moore's lyrics come in for two other reasons. One, it's a statement against interest. And two, it's an adoptive admission by the defendant. These are commercially produced songs and performed by the defendant. He has full editorial rights, and the fact that he kept it means he adopted it. Take 3, MO3, Take 3. The title, the subject matter, the mockery of 219 in it, or the mimicry of 219. The timing is so probative in this case, Your Honor, because hours after the murder, the defendant text messages this song to a co-defendant, Jerry Johnson. And this song directly references the decedent, the murder, and placing bounties for reprisal. Equally as probative, Your Honor, is Gassed Up. We saw evidence that it was composed days after the murder. It appears not to be finished, according to Detective Barnes. But just the same, it was text message to Jerry Johnson. Again, another never-before-released song. It speaks directly to the feud, the murder, and contains threats of continued violence towards HMS associates. Next, we have the co-conspirator songs. Hypocrite, Laugh Now, Sure. We heard from Dr. Nielsen. He says that these are celebratory songs of the murder of MO3. Here, Moore lists out several autobiographical events, and when he does it as justification for the murder, as well as he outlines certain details of the murder in all three cases. This is probative of retaliatory motive and goes to the conspiracy. In fact, Laugh Now is probably the most important of the three because this is the song that he previews to the defendant during that Instagram post call live, right? And we get an opportunity to see the defendant's facial expressions as he's listening to the song, as he's reading the follower comments, and it reeks of consciousness of guilt. Now, in that situation, the state wouldn't be admitting that song for the truth of the matter asserted. It would go to his state of mind, the consciousness of guilt and motive. Authorship. Defense raises the issue of authorship concerning these songs. Yet in their motions, they concede that these songs are artistic expression of the defendants, and that's because they're raising a First Amendment claim. You don't have First Amendment rights to words that are not yours or speech that isn't yours. More importantly, if we look at the cases where authorship is called into question, it is not commercially produced songs performed by the artists. Authorship is not at issue here, Your Honor. This case is about Dallas rappers airing out their beef with their music. Rap music is part of this case, Your Honor. It is not a side feature to distract or mislead or confuse the jury. And we aren't doing it just to impugn his character. Rather, the lyrics and the music themselves expose the motive between the parties, the relationship between the parties, and in certain cases explain the events that led to it. As you heard from Detective Barnes, these were not just words, people were dying. He further told us that everyone in this case has been shot. This evidence, Your Honor, is not unfairly prejudicial. Your Honor, the state is going to ask this court deny the defendant's motion in limine and allow the jury to hear the full story, to understand the motivations between the parties, and to understand what transpired that led to this murder. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor. Yesterday at 3:38, I filed a post-hearing brief and I emailed it to the court. Would you like a paper copy of it?
Yes, please.
May I approach?
Yes, sir.
May it please the court, Your Honor, we just heard Mr. Vela say that the evidence they seek to admit isn't.
Video games aren't cheap, and buying every new release can add up fast. GameFly has been helping gamers save money since 2002 by letting members rent PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and even movies delivered right to their mailbox. There are no late fees, shipping is free both ways, and if you find a game you love, you may be able to buy it at a discounted member price through the Keep option. Memberships are flexible, so you can start, pause, or cancel based on your gaming schedule. If you'd like to learn more about how GameFly works and see whether it's right for you, simply scan the QR code on your screen.
Thank you for watching Second to None Media. This concludes Part 2 of the prosecution's evidentiary hearing in the state of Texas case related to Conway, aka Yella Beezy, a defendant in the MO3 case. In our next episode, Part 3, we'll cover the defense's response to the prosecution's arguments during the hearing on the motion in limine. You'll hear how defense attorneys challenged the state's positions and argued what evidence should and should not be presented at trial. If you want complete gavel-to-gavel courtroom coverage, subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us for Part 3. We'll see you in the next Courtroom Report.